Hello, my lovelies. It's Get Ready. I am doing my first real video now that I'm back up on YouTube, and it's a video response. I love making video responses because you get to see a lot of video responses and get to know everybody else pretty well. I came across this hashtag through Lisa over at Tarot Alchemist, and it is by Ash at the Yogi Tarot Yogi. Oh my God, the Tarot Yogi. I was right. Okay. And it is a hashtag. What are your clairs? I know it was. I think she posted the original video post in February. Maybe even January. I'm really behind, you guys. I'm really behind. And it's a great video talking about your clairs and kind of, I know she talks about, reading other people's books and how they interpret or try to describe their abilities. And it's definitely hard. I think it's hard reading it and trying to see their perspective and their point of view and how they're trying to describe their abilities to you. Personally, for me, growing up, being able to see and hear and feel, and I pretty much have all the clairs. The one that I don't like too much is the taste, because that can get really gross sometimes. But back in the day, but I don't want to age myself too much, but I'm going to have to because I don't know how else to say it. We didn't have Google and YouTube. Really, when I was at the epitome of my searching for help on my abilities at the time, I went to libraries and bookstores, and really all we had were books that were written by some of these really esteemed authors of the time. And it was very hard to kind of put into her trying to grasp the extent of what they were trying to teach you through their books. Because for them, if it's no different than me trying to really to explain it at the same time, because for me, I grew up with those abilities right from the get-go at like 100% full strength. And I definitely have to agree with a lot of people. It is a muscle. It's like a muscle you need to use. And I have had times where I don't use it so much, and I struggle a lot of the times when I then go to do a reading and I'm straining sometimes. So the first clair that I ever really had was my clear sight, so clairvoyant. When I was 6, I had a spirit attachment, which of course as a 6-year-old is never really pleasant, especially my experience with a victim of a fire who I can still vividly see him in my head, just of what he looked like. So I am lucky enough to have been raised in a family with history in regards to having other family members in my ancestry that were very powerful mediums as well. I grew up in a culture that it was normal to go see a medium whenever you felt like it, really, in the end. I know I still have aunts in Portugal who still go to see to see mediums there. Though they have a tendency to use me now a lot more than before, because now we have the ability. We have Skype, we have, WhatsApp, we have access to things that we didn't have really back then. So for me, that was definitely the first clair I ever really developed. And then I kept with that Claire until I was about 14, 15, probably when I started hearing and seeing. Grew stronger at the same time, where it felt like I could literally see them in front of my face, like they were standing in front of me. And then I slowly started getting into Claire smell would be my I'd have to say my weakest Claire is definitely the taste, the I don't know, I can't even say it. I can't even remember what it's properly called. And only because it can get really, really gross. I had lots of, especially with family members that have crossed because of things like throat cancers or because of their smoking. I will literally taste like burnt cigarettes and stuff in my mouth. And it's just not a pleasant, definitely not a pleasant experience. So I have put a kind of like a little bit of a boundary unless it's absolutely necessary. I ask Spirit not to give me those types of tastes. Like unless there's actually no other way of communicating. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. But for me, I've always had it, so it's it's amazing to see all the video responses. And I am one of those people that I love answering questions. I really do, about people that are interested in how to try to learn how to maybe try to hear more, or the clear knowing, on how to try to understand the concept of what is your thought and what is not. But it's a great VR, and I am happy that Ash brought it up, because watching all the other videos is amazing. And so this is mine to add to it, as much as I can kind of put together really quickly before my kids get home and start making too much racket. So yeah, so that's my hashtag to Ash, and I hope it makes sense. Bye.